Here are the top 5 mods for this guy right here. I would like to introduce you to my 2023 G80 Competition X Drive in the beautiful Isle of Man green. But what if I told you that you could get your G80 looking just like this and add probably 50 wheel horsepower from the factory for less than $2,000? That is why I'm titling this video the 5 best mods you can do to a G80. And I did a lot of research. There's a lot of research I did before I decided to go the route I did in terms of mods, and I am very, very happy with how this guy turned out. I just think the stance, the aesthetic, the performance is on the money. Literally on the money. Less than $2,000 money. Here she blows. We'll do a little walk around real quick. And you can hear from the idle, you know we mean business. Listen, you can have that exact sound. I'm not gatekeeping anything. So you clicked on the right video. But that right there is actually a 900 RPM idle, where this thing from the factory usually only idles at 650. Stay tuned, because I'm telling you guys, you're gonna transform this car with OEM software, and you're gonna be loving this thing. It is, even thinking about it right now, how I took it from stock to this is completely different car. The driving experience, the looks you get, everything, it is just, this car for the price is perfected. Fellas, I will start off with probably the #1 mod that anybody should do to their G80 M3, which I know it's gonna sound cliche, but fellas, that is a single mid-pipe. Basically just any mid-pipe. The mid-pipe that I went with is the 4-inch Miltech mid-pipe, and the reason I went with the 4-inch one instead of the 3.5 is I wanted the sound and the performance. 4 inches means you're gonna get better flow, the sound's gonna be a little bit deeper, and I wanted that. I didn't want, the 3.5 still sounds good, but the 4-inch, I mean, fellas, 4 inches is where it's at. Come on now. That cost me about $800. And I saw some dyno results with it. I think it was like 21 wheel horsepower with 11 wheel torque, which is pretty nuts if you guys think about it. The 4-inch mid-pipe definitely adds performance, it adds sound. I mean, let me just give you guys a quick startup real quick. I know it's already on right now. Just listen to how nasty this is. I'll do some revs first. We're already in Sport Plus, so. Trust me, the startup's where it's at. Ready? That startup is so nasty, guys. Trust me, the revving doesn't really do it justice. The S58 just sounds horrible when you rev it, just in a kind of park state, but under throttle with ignition cut shifts, it sounds pretty nasty. These things are so quiet from the factory. It is like an old folks home. I don't know what BMW is thinking. There's like 4 cats, which is more cats than I have in my house, 2 resonators, and a big old diaper muffler. No, single mid-pipe, boom, better flow, better power, way better sound. Opens this thing up, which takes me to my next one, which, fellas, this is the #2 mod I recommend. It is the MAD valve controller. And let me show you this real quick. So I do have an option to shut the valves in an OEM state, open them fully, and then do like custom stuff, but I don't really mess with that. But check it out. If I can even get my fingers in here. All right, there we go. We got it. So fellas, there you go. That is the MAD valve controller right there. You can see we did a little waterproof duct tape job, some zip tie stuff going on. You can see this one's threaded through here. Now basically what that does is it plugs into the factory actuators, which I might be able to show you if I'm good with the camera. Can you guys see that? Wait, hold on. Let me just make sure I'm even on the right thing. Yeah, right there. You guys see that? So that guy right there is the factory actuator, and we basically tapped into that, and that allows us to override the OEM valves, so then we can have them fully open, which is usually how I drive. I think with the 4-inch mid-pipe, it's perfect. It's not overly loud to where I'd actually have to shut them, so I just leave it open. But if I do shut them, it's super nice. I mean, it's pretty quiet. It sounds just like stock. And I actually programmed it into my HomeLink buttons up here, so it acts as a garage door opener, which is really, really cool. I just click the buttons, I can open, close them. That is an awesome upgrade, and it really brings out the mid-pipe. If you don't do the valve controller, yes, the mid-pipe still sounds good, but the valve controller with the mid-pipe, fellas, that's where we're really getting spicy. All right, it's not worth the upgrade. Plus the valve controller is like 200, 250 bucks, maybe 300 at most, at least through MAD. So it's like, why not? Why would you not add that? And you get some power benefits. I mean, you get better flow. The valves are always open. So in my case, it was a for sure upgrade, a no-brainer. That is the number 2, which is that MAD valve controller. Super easy setup. Took me maybe like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes at max. There you guys have it. That's kind of like the sound / a little bit of performance upgrades. Now we're on to more of the aesthetics / handling upgrades, which I got to tell you guys, if you want to have a fitment like this, which I guess I can show you from the rear, the front wheel's turned. If you guys want fitment like this, where it's basically one finger, what if I told you that this is a $300 adjustment here to get looks like this? Yeah, $300 to get basically a stance like that. That is called AST springs, my friends, not the height adjustable ones, just the straight up preset AST springs. I thought very, very hard, guys. I was rolling over in bed, figuring out if I should do the OEM M Performance suspension kit, which is basically the KW Haas kit, repainted, rebranded. It's the same exact thing. The reason I thought about doing the OEM kit is just because it keeps warranty. You know, you'd think that if BMW is recommending it for the chassis, that it must be optimal. But I didn't want to tinker with ride height. I saw these threads about people having issues with the rear sitting way too low. The front didn't have enough adjustability. So I honestly think this stance is perfect. The AST springs, non-adjustable, they dialed this thing in. Let me actually turn the steering wheel real quick. That way you guys can actually see what it looks like. But look at that fitment. It is so money, man. Like one finger basically, and it's so even. I mean, look at that. And I can definitely tell you handling is improved. You have lower center of gravity, so it just feels way more locked in. It's a little bit stiffer, which obviously, you know, they're smaller springs, but it works perfectly with the EDC. Yeah, the EDC, I've never had any issues, and the car is just an absolute blast to drive. I guess this is a bonus mod, but I do have 15 mil spacers all the way around. They're the Burger Motorsports one. I don't even know. Is it called Burger Motorsports? I'll just link them all down in the descriptions. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have all of this in the description below if you're curious, but I'm pretty sure it's Burger Motorsports. It just sounds funny to say. 15 mil, I thought about maybe doing 18 mil all around, but honestly 15 I think is a really nice flush look. I mean, here's just from a side view. Yeah, you know, I don't want it to be too much poked out to where then it seems a little corny. I don't know, I think this is like a really nice OEM plus look. And yeah, so that's 15 mils all the way around, which is super nice. I got the lightweight variant of the wheel spacers just because why not save some space on rotational mass? It's always a plus. So you have to pay a little bit of a premium for those guys, but I think it's worth it. But anyways, AST springs, perfect to install, super easy. I don't even think you can see the springs up in there. They took it to the perfect ride height. I think it's like 20 mils in the front. Honestly, I don't even know the specs. It's on the website. I don't want to just say some wrong information. I think out of all of them, AST springs for the bargain. I mean, guys, I got these for $300 on sale at Extreme Powerhouse. I honestly think this is a secret, but I use the code COMEBACK in all caps on almost everything, and it knocks like 10% off. So I guess you guys can try that code. Like I said, I'm not going to gatekeep this stuff. So that's a little secret right there. So use the code COMEBACK, and I got these puppies for $300. So probably the best value upgrade. I mean, stance wise, performance, just the looks. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. So nasty. So there you guys have it. That is for the AST springs. That's mod number 3. Now we're moving on to the fun stuff, which is more software stuff, but I guess this one does affect handling, suspension, damping, transmission. And fellas, my number 4 mod that everybody with a G80 needs to do is the CS transmission flash. That's right. It is OEM software from an M3 CS. You get the steering, differential, damping, transmission, all that stuff. It is, oh, it's night and day, guys. The trans is so quick. Oh my gosh, the shifts are just lightning quick. I'll put a little clip right here just so you guys can see. Totally transformed this car. I mean, it is levitating now on this. The steering feels great. Steering feels more mechanical. It doesn't feel as assisted, which this car has insane assisted steering. So if anything, it gave me that rawness back. I mean, if you guys have ever driven an F80 M3, you know what I mean in terms of like rawness with steering input. This car from the factory feels so assisted. It has so much like electronic assist that now with that CS Flash, this thing is completely dialed in. I mean, from transmission, steering, damping, all that stuff, it feels so aggressive. Race car-like, baby. It feels like a race car now, and you can get that Flash from Bimmer Remote for like 150 bucks. From value to performance standpoint, it's like, why not? And it's OEM software, so it's like BMW engineered stuff. It's phenomenal. So if you guys haven't done the CS Flash already, I highly recommend that. It is probably my favorite Flash for this car, which now is bringing me to the 5th mod, which, hold on guys, I must say, the springs with the CS Flash, I forgot to mention that, is perfect. I mean, now that it's lowered, it's stiffer, it's more aggressive. Those pair together, this car feels so solid. So I don't know if I can say that enough, but it just feels solid. All right, enough of that. Number 5 mod, the final mod, which I recommend, which is also BMW OEM software, that is the CS DME Flash. And that puppy just came out. It's fresh off the press, guys. Get your hands on it. If you're a G80 owner, man, come get your CS DME Flash, baby. It is amazing that you can now flash a G80 and not have, or basically tune a G80 and not have to do a femto unlock. That's right. This car from the factory, they quote 503 because I have pre-LCI. LCI is 523. But basically you're using the M2 CS software and performance, you know, from the DME to get these numbers, and they say 523, right? But it feels a lot more than that. And there's people that have put it on a dyno, not on this chassis, but on other chassis, and we're looking at 550, and that's with a 3-inch mid-pipe. I'm talking 550 wheel, guys. This car is an absolute rocket after that Flash. Like I said, it's been dynoed. It's been confirmed, but that's on an M2 chassis. We got all-wheel drive, baby. So this thing now, it is a monster. Oh my gosh. And what's crazy is you can also get that Flash for $150, you know? I mean, I think I got it like 10% off. It was like 130 bucks. You're basically getting pretty much 30 more wheel horsepower from just an email. And what's awesome is it's OEM software. So like, that's why I'm jumping up and down. I mean, this car is nasty now. Pretty much all these mods got me fired up about this car, and it made me fall in love again. You know, like when I owned this thing stock, it was cool and all, it was awesome, great car, but it just lacked. It just didn't feel like an M car. So these 5 mods basically bring it to what I think BMW should have had from the factory, which pretty much is what the CS is. I know, you know, if you're paying for the CS variant of this car, you know, you're going up a step, and you're able to get it for a fraction of the price with these modifications, and you don't have to be confined to that extra price tag, you know? Plus, the colors are awesome. Isle of Man greens, beautiful color, and check it out. I haven't showed you this yet, but we do have the carbon buckets in here, which makes it even better. So all this stuff paired together, I mean, this is like a little CS for a fraction of the price. And then, fellas, this is a bonus mod. I'd say number 6 that you should get is, I highly recommend you guys get a radar. This is a unit in R7 right here. Great little device. And I mean, when you're pushing CS numbers, come on now, you got to get a radar. Fellas, that is my top 5 mods for this guy. Basically, the mods that you should do off the rip, or in my case, kind of do it in a progression. This thing is so much more fun to drive. It's so much more engaging. And I think if I ever own a G80 again, like let's say I decide to trade this in for like a 26, I'm probably gonna be doing these all again. Like I'm just gonna be taking my mid pipe. I got my springs here. I got my valve controller, the CS flash. I can always just re-download those. I mean, guys, I think if I'm going to forever own a G80, I will always do these modifications just because the value you get is insane. And aesthetically, I think the car looks great. Let's just do one more walk around. Yeah, this thing is just so nasty. And it's not gonna do it justice in person just because obviously, you know, this is just a camera, but trust me when I say the sound and stance is way better than if it was ever stock. If you have any questions, make sure you guys leave a comment down below or let me hear your thoughts. I don't know if there's any other mods you guys would probably add, but if anything, I think top 5, this is it. I don't think anything else would replace any of these. So make sure to check the description. Like I said, I'm gonna include all that stuff down below. Who knows where we're gonna go, what direction we're gonna go, but if anything, I think if I'm gonna get another G80, it's probably gonna be an LCI. You're not gonna wanna miss that. Plus, who knows if anything else is gonna come out for these cars. There's always iterations, you know, evolutions in the S58 world. So definitely the place to be. But anyways, as always, much love guys and happy modding. We will see you in the next one, all right? Peace.